Hi everyone and welcome to Caravel Gaming. This is Boomer and let's jump into another sealed gauntlet, I suppose. Now, I have actually thought quite a bit about this. I've played 4 or 5 sealed gauntlets now and I think I'm beginning to get an idea of where the format is. To me, unless you're seriously synergistic, Blood and Sapphire don't seem that great. Wild Ruby is probably your default that you're going to go to, either that or Ruby Diamond. I think they're probably your default you're going to go to unless you open something busted in other colours. For example, the 2 videos you've seen so far both been Wild Ruby. I could have gone like Necrotic in the second video. Played a couple since then. There was one I actually opened a Fentio, and I also opened a Brood Baron, the Spider Do, which puts guys in your deck. So I went for like a Blood Sapphire Spot, and I just really wasn't impressed by it. I mean, it didn't help that I went like 1 and 3 in that gauntlet, and I didn't draw Fentio or the 1-3 in any of the 4 games, and I just like died horrifically. But the problem is that if you're playing the Spider deck, you're playing inherently bad cards in the hope that the synergy will pull you through. But you're playing against decks, certainly when you're playing against Wild and Ruby, you're playing against decks which have really efficient guys, huge guys, and there's not really too much in the way of removal in this format either. So, you know, and if you play, the same thing holds true if you're playing Diamond. If you're playing Diamond, you've got quite a few decent guys, but you have to be on curve every turn, because if you're not on curve every turn, the green or the wild decks are just going to go fat guy, and that's it. You can't come back from that. It seems to me that wild is pretty much the only colour that can come back from being behind, because it can just land a couple of like really huge guys and then it's okay. Whereas I don't feel like the other colours can come back from behind as easily. Maybe if you get a purge or something like that, you can come back from behind. But most of the time, it's not possible to come back from behind. And also the fact that Wild has so many combat tricks, it makes it so hard to deal with it in combat. So that's my thoughts at the moment anyway. Still, we're going to jump into a sealed gauntlet. I've got my packs, so let's join. And let's see what we get. You can see 2 Shadowblade. This guy is probably the reason to go Blood if you're going to go Blood. He is incredibly good. So let's just sort by rarity, see if we can sort anything out. We have a Holy Ascension, which is useless. We have a Scorn of Oberon, which isn't great either. Balthazar, which isn't good. Yeah, we're in trouble. We've got pretty much nothing this draft, so we're going to have to... I mean, this might be worth something, but we're going to have to go long, shall we say, here. Have I got anything outstanding in the uncommon area? Like for Venom, maybe, but I've not got any of the decent Venom, I don't think. Yeah. Couple of Sandstone Rumblers, which is an idea. I think we're yeah, I mean, with these guys, yeah. I'm pretty sure we're going Wild Ruby, even though we don't have the... even though we don't really have everything we need for it, we have enough. Yeah, we've got a relic, so that's cool. 3 arcane focuses, yeah. Yeah, it's just like, you look at these Sapphire cards and there's just nothing there. It's like, there's just literally nothing there for you to even get remotely excited about. Oh, I got 3 Boomsmiths. Okay, so we're definitely... and 3 Staggering Blasts as well. Right, so what did I get in Diamond? Doesn't look like anything too spectacular. Okay, I guess we're going 3 for 3 on this front. Unfortunately, sometimes that's just the way you've got to go. 3 Boomsmiths, Ashford Soloist. Was that double Death Mask Assailant as well? Yeah. Double Duelist. Yeah, that guy's cool. This guy, this guy, this guy. I mean, this is perfectly playable as well, but I might not have the room. We shall see. So, yeah, let's get rid of everything that isn't Wild Ruby. Yeah, this is busted. This is amazing. This is good. These are great. Depends how much in the way of elves I have. I have, like, elves, elf, that's necrotic, elf, necrotic, elf, elemental, right. I guess I'll play Balthazar just because. Grove Whisperer's a fae. That's an elf. Hempseed Drought just isn't very good. We've got 3 of these. It's just a bit of a shame that we don't actually have any straight up ramp aside from our hero ability. I think Grove Whisperer's fine. Smash it on. I mean, yeah, obviously that. What the hell am I doing not playing that? We got some decent early game there, like a lot of good early game. Other way round, please. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 guys to play before turn 3, but then we've got like the fat on top of it. Do I have anything that's going to... Right, I'm gonna have to take out one of these fat guys because I think it's probably going to be the Grove Whisperer. Because this guy's going to be 6'3" unblockable for the most part. So this guy stays. This guy's obviously really good as well. Yeah, I think it has to be the Grove Whisperer because it's just the weakest of all the cards. It's basically a 4/5 sort of unblockable. So compared to the Rumbler, it's nowhere near as good. I really want, I want to play the optimization device, and the reason for that is that I want the ramp. I think that's going to be really important for me. 3 Boomsmiths, man, jeez. I actually have no combat tricks here. It's like my deck is just all creatures. I might have to play... Well, I have one. I have Lunge. It's like I might have to play Staggering Blast just to have something to get me through. Because I actually haven't... The only evasion I have are these 2 Deathmask Assailants. Oh, I have a Fiery Indignation as well, which is pretty much always going to do 5. Might take out one of the healers. Yeah, again, I'm trying to have 1 Staggering Blast. I'm almost tempted to go up to 2 because people still play spiders. And, this also clears out a lot of the, like, early red dudes, which can be annoying. This guy can be super annoying if you don't stop him. It's just where there's anything else I want to take. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 huge guys. I might not play the Tree Guard, but again, it's an elf, and 4/3 is actually surprisingly big in this format. I obviously want to play the Acorn, so... I think I may just play with 1, and we'll see how that goes. Socket that with... +1/+1, so it's basically just a 3/3. Socket this with can't be blocked. It's socketable major this as well, so it could actually come in as a... It could actually come in as a 5/2 and just punch my opponent for 5. So that's definitely something we could think of. The other thing potentially is for it to be 5/2 with was for it to be 5-2 with... I mean, it'd actually be 7-4 if I just put the Minor Wild Orb of Primordium in it. But again, because I don't have anything that gives first strike, it'd just die. The other option is to just give another creature +5/+2 when it comes into play. But we're going to go with the unblockable for the moment. If it turns out I'm facing a ton of red decks, which I imagine I could do, I might switch it round. But I think that for the moment we're going to go with that. Yeah, it's like this guy's going to come in and draw about 9 cards, I think. So we've got card draw, we've got bits and pieces of everything, we've got 3 Boomsmiths. I think that we are doing fine. I just wish I had a few more tricks, but I don't think that... you can't ask for everything. I've got a lot of... I've got a lot of decent stuff going on here, and I think that that's the... Is this guy... He's Socketable Major, I suppose? It's only this turn, though, so... If I give it +1/+1, it's a 5/6 for 5. It's pretty big. So what can it be? It can be a 5/6 for 5. It can be an unblockable. Okay, I'm going to pull one more of these, and I'm going to put the Grove Whisperer in, because I think it is just better. As a 5/6 for 5, I think it is just better. So we will go that way. We've got the Staggering Blast, and I'm trying to at least be somewhat... Yeah, I'm trying to at least be somewhat disciplined in how I am building stuff. Now, the deck is majorly Ruby, so... Yeah, it's like hugely Ruby, isn't it? Yeah, everything in the early game's Ruby. It doesn't... It's only when I get to 4 that I start casting the... and so I think... 9/7 sounds good. Especially when I've got the Acorn as well. So that seems okay to me. Let's see how the VIP sleeves run. So let's save the deck. And let's find a game. I do apologise for keeping showing the same shard combinations, but hey, what are you going to do? It gave me a load of ridiculously powerful things, so what am I supposed to do? Or a load of stuff that I consider powerful, put it that way. And I'm up against the guy who makes things revert. Not the best opening hand, but we will we'll keep it, I suppose. And we're up against Perpenflurb. Well, I suppose, actually, this hand's fine. Of course it is, because I've got this hero, so it's a 2-drop into a 4-drop. Okay. Wow. It's not what I wanted. I mean, you can pretty much guarantee it. It's just like every single time that you have a 5-shard 2 spell hand, your first draw is always a your first draw 100% of the time is going to be a shard. Yeah, I mean, we're on turn 3, and I've pretty much already lost. You know, there is pretty much nothing I can do about this. It's like my hand is 4 shards and he has 6 cards. So what can I do? I have to draw like 3 spells in a row now to even have a chance in this game. Well, we've got one. Should bring us back into it somewhat. I'm actually willing to trade my 4-3 for his 3-3 if he wants. Make the old 6-3 that he can't block. Okay. The funny thing is, this guy can't even be stopped by Pride's Fall. I mean, I'm basically all in on this guy, unfortunately, but it's just the way things are for me. Yep, that's game, I'm pretty sure. Oh no. And the thing is, I guess I'm now ahead on board and he's used more cards than me, so... Sure. And that's a 4-4. That's okay. Let's make the old Asylum. I basically need one more fat guy. Is what I need at this point. I basically need one more fat guy. Oh, let me just read lunge. Okay, well, it got rid of one of his spells. That's something. Unfortunately, it now means I'm screwed unless I draw something that isn't a shard. It's pretty good. So he obviously has a trick. I'm going to block that. Oh, I didn't realise he's done it on that guy. Oh, he's done it on both of them. Okay, fine. Oh, that's okay. Burn. Well, I've got to do it this way. If he has a +2/+2, he has a +2/+2. Right, he doesn't. Okay. Let's try and put him on as dead as possible. Fortunately, I had a bit of a mana flood at the start of the game. He had one. He's had one right at the end here, which is, you know, either way, it's not optimal one way or the other. So he now has to block. And he has another blocker at least this turn, so he's up to 8. Okay. Well, I have to admit that on turn 3, I did not think that we were going to win that, but this is what I'm saying about how Wild Ruby can suddenly come back from behind, because its cards are just so much more powerful than the other shard combinations on a 1-for-1 basis. Diamond and Blood and the other colours overwhelm you when they get to synergize. You know, when they get all their synergy together, that's when they start. That's when they start overwhelming you. But if you are behind, I think that Wild and Ruby are the only colours that can come back from behind, because of how you can just make, like I did there, the Grote, you just make a 5/6, and there's nothing aside from like the 2 removal spells. You know, aside from the 2 removal spells that those colours have, there is literally nothing aside from those 2 removal spells that those decks can do if you decide to just go, I'm playing unfair. I do like how the Unbelieved Duelist just clears her throat, like, ahem! Incoming first strike, or swift strike, or however you want to call it. I'm actually tempted to not cast anything on turn 3. Obviously, I don't block here. Depends if he makes something. Okay, makes another Sunseer. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I am actually going to Boomsmith this turn because I want the... I've got another one next turn, so... Again, I sort of want the board open. I want to get the damage in early because he's got a decent sized creature coming that will have lifelink, so... You know what? Let's just put the pain in while we can. Ugh, that's pretty bad for him. I mean, admittedly, I've not drawn a 5th shard, but... It's like, this is just steadily things getting worse and worse for him. Same yo up. It's like, I can't pronounce anything. So he makes like a... 2/3 with lifelink. Okay. Okay, so he takes it, and we're just going to cast the Rumbler. This guy is insane, by the way. Just absolutely insane. Okay, so we are 2-0. 2 packs, 2 packs. Hopefully there'll be primal packs. It's not... It's like, I don't understand why, like, I have... How many packs have I opened so far? I think I've now opened 30 packs, something like that. 30 system-generated packs, no primal. I don't think I'm a favourite to open a primal pack in that amount. It's about 2%. About 2%. So it's whatever 98% to the 30 is. Primal pack would be cool though, because it's another 2,000 platinum. I've already got the two duplicitous dukes or whatever, so that's like 3,000 platinum, I think, at this point. So this is the advantage you get from playing at release weekend, I guess. Playing against the Coyote. Cool sleeves. He's got the triumvirate sleeves. I like those. So he's on the play, and I've got stuff, so that's cool. I would like to be on. I would really like to be on the play with this deck. It's like, it feels like this deck on the play will be almost unbeatable. I say almost because obviously nothing's completely unbeatable, but you get the idea. Let's make the Assailant. So like, this is a guy that I feel a Coyote deck's gonna have major trouble beating, and he gets to look at my hand. Awesome. I mean, if I draw Wild Shard next turn, I'm pretty sure he is just blown out. Like, end of. Unfortunately, we've drawn 2 cards and not drawn a shard, which is really unfortunate. It's have I got an elf in hand? Yes, I do. So if I draw the acorn, it's a... Oh, really? That's disgusting. I'm going to make the... I'm going to make Flame Hand Invoker, because at this point the only thing I can do pretty much is race. I mean, he can't... It's like, this is the awkward thing. It's like, it would be literally impossible for him to win if I'd have drawn a 3rd shard here. And this is what to me gets annoying sometimes about this game. It's like, there is no skill involved in this whatsoever. This is basically, I have got mana screwed. My deck is massively superior to his, but I've just hit a 1 in 8. I've just hit my 1 in 8 chance that I can't win, basically. You know what? I've got no option. I've just got to race. Right, stupid. It's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. not happy at the way this has gone. Unfortunately, he's going to make a massive gap. This is so frustrating. It's going to make some enormous dude, and it's like... so annoying. I'll take 5. So if I pump this to 6, have I got enough blockers? Yeah. Do you have Smash to the Ground or the +3/+3? Oh! Well, it's like you tell me. In fact, even you tell me. It's like that. This is the one thing about Hearthstone that I actually like, is that shit doesn't happen. It's like I draw a wild shard anytime from turn 1 to turn 5. I win that game, but of which I have 7 in my deck. I mean, to be honest, I really hate complaining about resource screw. And to be fair, in Hex, it's way less likely to happen. It's miles less likely to happen than it is in Magic the Gathering. It's miles less likely to happen, because you only need 1 in order to cast any of your spells. So it's way, way, way less likely to happen. But... let's make the resource device here. And I will choose wild. Yeah. And that's the problem. It's like, in order to... I mean, obviously that's why I like the 5 and 3, the 5 wins, 3 losses thing, because over the course of 8 games, you are going to lose to mana screw at some point. You are exceedingly lucky if all your mana works correctly for the first 4 turns. The only issue I have with Venom is that a lot of their guys have, high toughness, so... Now I've got a question. Do I make a relic, or do I sacrifice this and have Brawler up next turn? I think I make a relic. I think I just want to make a... Because his spiders aren't relevant, really. I've got Staggering Blast in hand, so his spiders I don't really care about his spiders. What I care about is being able to, like, kill him. It's whether he has a hatch or his priest doesn't. No, he just has a 2-2 with life drain. That is fine. And I'm actually going to use my ability now, because... It's like, that is a very, very hard to recover from swing. Okay, shall we put some spiders in? Wow, nothing really. Okay, so let's attack. Not really got the time to be doing that, buddy. Yeah, sure. Wow, he missed after all that. Well, I got lucky that he missed on the lunacy, but then again, it's like, this is why I have a problem with spiders. It's like, it relies so much on, you're playing bad cards because lunacy doesn't do anything. You know, you're playing a 1/1 fly for 2 that you're relying on, and your opponents are playing Boomsmiths, Emberleaf Duelists, Staggering Blasts, Healers, Balthazars, Grove Whisperers, Rumblers. You know, there's just too much stuff, I think, for that spider deck to be, you know, to be a real proper contender on that front. But oh god, that was close. Get 5 wins again, I'd be happy. I am, this is going mage ways in Hearthstone, isn't it? It's like, here's me playing the strongest class constantly. But the Spiders deck to me doesn't work unless you have some kind of ridiculous bomb. And the Diamond, like Blood Diamond decks rely too much on being on curve against Beowulf and been to Gen Con. And yeah, we've got Gigantosaurs coming in now. She's playing. What do I have here? I have a soloist and I have the device, so I'm cool. which one to make. Well, he's on the play, so I think I'm more likely to get mileage out of this. I mean, obviously, it relies on me drawing... Bash is good. Obviously, it relies on me drawing our third shard at some point. Oh, got it anyway. Okay, so we'll make Death Mask. It's unfortunate, because if I'd have played the Soloist, I could have actually had a turn 3... I could have had a turn 3 Sandstone Rumbler, but Sandstone Rumbler's not going to be that good in this matchup, I don't think, because of the... It'll basically just be an Abyss. You know, for want of a better term, it'll be a removal spell. Well, this is unfortunate, because he's made guys that I can't kill. So... I guess we're going to go Soloist and pass? Yeah, this game might just be down to the fact he was on the play, I'm on the draw. And he made 2-3 toughness guys when I've got guys that deal 2 in my hand. Let's see what he does. Yep. Makes sense. Yeah, I've just lost. It's like, I have actually just straight up lost. And again, this is one thing. If I was I on the play here? No, he was on the play. So this game entirely came down to who went first. There was nothing else involved in this game. It was basically my opponent went first, therefore he won. That's all it was. It was like, my opponent goes, you know what? I'm going to go first. And I go, okay, I guess you win then. Don't know why it took you that long to play a shard, but go ahead. Yep, have a Gigantosaur. Have a 7-drop. Dude, seriously, what are you, like, thinking about? I mean, I'm gonna have to blow my hand completely to clear his board next turn, and that's assuming he does not. Why did it take you that long to do that? Why did it take you a minute to figure out killing my only good guy was a good thing? Wow, why in the world did it take you that long to figure out that you just completely had a blowout there? Well, I didn't think this was a 3 and 2 deck, but unfortunately we've had the screw and the lost coin flip. Unfortunately, that's all that was. It's like, I could sort of come back into it, but because if I'd have gone first, I'd have gone soloist into, like, guy into the Sandstone Warrior on turn 3, and then I would have killed his guy and attacked. So you can kind of see how that game, he might have still won because he had the skewer, so he may very well have still won that, but it would have been a heck of a lot closer. However, on this occasion, it's like, sorry, you lost the die roll, so... I thought I had a 2-drop there, I don't, so I'm going to have to play a little bit of control this time, I think. So I've got turn 3 Boomsmith or Blade Master. Blade Master's not going to be as good in this match because have I got an elf? I do have an elf. He's not going to be as good because number 1 he's Ruby, and so he's going to have Indignations, Boomsmiths, various other things which make my life miserable. Okay, so there's a bit of ramp going on there. I'm going to take the opportunity to make a Boomsmith then. In that case. Don't really want him making a 5-drop on turn 3, thank you very much. Yep, okay. Yes. Opening hand looked pretty good, didn't it? Unfortunately, he still gets to make his 5-drop this turn, which is a little bit annoying, but... I've got a choice here, so... So, I mean, I'm cool with you throwing away your dudes, but... Not sure that was right. I could have put it on this guy. Uh, 7. It's like, you know what would be awesome to draw here? Balthazar. Balthazar would be really awesome to draw here. Ladies and gentlemen, I present when you have an amazing deck, and actually what we had here was a process called Drivelation, which is basically your opening 7 looks amazing, however the top 5 cards of your deck are absolute gravel and you can't do anything with them. It's like you literally have nothing. Can I can't race here, can I? Well, looks like we're going 3 and 3, and that is, you know, that is the absolute minimum I would expect this deck to do. Like, absolute minimum. Absolute minimum. There is no way that this deck should go 3. Whatever, does nothing. Yes, does nothing. Congrats on spending 7 mana doing nothing. So this blocks this. Yeah. This blocks this. This eats this. And if he has a growth spell, I'm doomed anyway. Yeah. Well, fairly sad ending there, because basically our deck just wouldn't play ball, despite the fact that we had, you know, despite the fact that our deck was insane. We just, unfortunately, our deck just would not behave in that game, and we just got, I think that, how many games did we play? 6? And in over half of them, we drew like 10 shards in the top. You know, we drew the equivalent of over half shards in like every single game. Apart from the one, which was a one-way screw, so never mind. But, it happens, but it does get frustrating sometimes. I mean, this is the one thing that's actually good about Arena, is the fact, about Gauntlet, is the fact that you can just dump back in. It does it, you know, you do get 3 shots at it, whereas, you know, if you're playing a game like, or you're playing a constructed draft, it's just like, you're screwed, you've had it. End of story. Congratulations on playing for an hour, you don't get to play a single game of Hex. Now, admittedly, there were probably like 3 games I would consider games of Hex there. Admittedly, our opponent got flooded as well, but he got flooded and he drew his big stuff, which means it's okay when you get flooded there. I got flooded and drew small guys, and it's like, that is a bad... If I'd have drawn this at any point, it's like, draw 5 cards... What would it have been? Draw 5 cards, gain 6 life. It's like, I'm pretty sure I would have been ahead based on that, but... I said when the deck was built, I was a little bit worried there wasn't that much removal in it, but... It was like 1 loss to screw, 1 loss to coin flip, and 1 loss to block. Although I have to say that there was one game where I think I probably could have played it a bit differently, but really there wasn't much I could do there under those circumstances. And sometimes you just have to accept that that's what, you know, sometimes you just have to accept that that's what happens. You are just going to, you know, run into a deck that usually over the course of a gauntlet you're going to run into at least one deck that's better than yours, and you're probably going to have mana issues in at least one game. So obviously the ideal is to have the mana issues against the deck that's going to stomp you anyway, so you might as well get out of the way. Yes, sometimes you're going to get a busted deck and 5-0, but that's not always going to be the way that things go. Well, guys, that was rather unfortunate, especially when we were 3-1. I was thinking we were definitely going to get to 5 wins there, but sadly, it was not to be. But we're going to have, we should have some chests here that we can open to make myself feel a little bit better about things. No primal pack again, disappointing. So we got 3 common chests, so let's spin them. We got an upgrade to uncommon. Oh no, we got a respin. Be still my heart. 500 dust and some 500 gold and some stardust. Fine, open it. that crap thing again. Oh, paid spin. Nope, nothing there. It's like blame Kismet. What the hell are these? It's like I don't want to play with slaughter gear in my decks. And nothing on that one. Well, that was disappointing. Okay, well, that'll do for this time, guys. Join me again for another sealed gauntlet when we can. Hopefully we can get back to 5 wins, and hopefully we can play a different deck. But as I said, the default for me is just to go that way, and I think you saw that in those games. It was like Wild was just where everyone was going, aside from a couple of people, and those couple of people were way behind the curve. So I think, unfortunately, that's the way it's going to be going, but we'll see how it goes in the future. So until next time, guys, this is Boomer for Carvel Gaming, and I'll see you next time.